Hi,
Hi, and welcome back once again. I'm Dipti.
I am Atofa.
So today, we're talking about full disclosure. Should you tell? Should you keep quiet? Let's get it. Alright. So your past relationships, those you dated, those that wasn't successful, etc. Should you tell your partner about it so basically when you're in a relationship and you meet this nice guy and he's asking you about, do you have an ex, how was it, why did it end, etc. Are those useful information you want to tell a new person or even a husband or whatever?
Probably if you've had, let's say, more than one exes, right? You can just tell the person one of them, that maybe the successful ones, and why it didn't work. Okay? Because the question is, if the first person you dated, if you dated at the right time and you met the right person, then nobody would have had an ex. Something along the line, came up. That's why we all have exes. Very few people claim they've never had ex. They married their wives. Well,
me, I've never had an ex.
Well, so why are you laughing? Well, so for me,
should you tell?
I did. Yes.
Why did you tell?
Well, sometimes it comes up in a conversation, right? And the fact that you have an ex doesn't mean that. And you have an ex that you are just free with. You have set the boundaries. You are free with. The person occasionally calls you just to say hello. You can tell your partner who that person is. Say, oh, this is the guy I told you about, or he's the one.
But won't that breed insecurities?
No, it depends on who you are married to.
Okay.
The who you are married to.
Okay.
If you realize that the person also had a terrible ex relationship, you have should I say a policy, or you tell yourselves that you are not going to talk about your exes, and you have no role. Exes have no role and will never come up in your marriage or this new relationship unless you have that kind of rule. Never to talk about your exes, never to bring them up, never to even call them for anything. Because sometimes, if you are very close and free with your ex, and you have accepted that you are no longer together, so you are okay with each other, you've all moved on, should there be any problem in this new relationship, you know whom you will tell the issue to? Your ex.
Yeah.
Because you say, oh, this is what Kwesi did, this is what he did. Can you imagine?
And Kofi comes and then you tell Kofi too.
Yes.
Kobla comes and you tell Kobla too.
Even beside that, so when you go back to your ex, the one you are just friends with, the one you can just share even the new relationship issues with, the one you can just get advice and tips to help this relationship work. When you go back, that intimacy can be rebirth. So the moment you move on, you have to cut all ties with your ex, especially those you've had intimacy with, sexual intimacy with. You have to cut all ties, because the moment you have heated arguments with this new relationship or the marriage, they are the first point of call. You call them, they will console you, and if you watch them in movies, before you know it, you are in bed with them, and you will never come back and tell. And once you break that bond, you will go back again and again and again. So for full disclosure, I think it's so unnecessary. Just move on.
I think with that, I would say have selective amnesia. Selective participation. Selective amnesia. I mean, it doesn't work. So why do you bother your head over it? It didn't work, and it's none of their business to start with. This is your life, and then this is your life before them. So why if it doesn't have to do with you getting to know my family and the work that I do, making sure that it's legal, etc. The other things, why do you want to know?
Yeah.
How does that make your life better? Because then you want to basically talk and focus on things that will make your relationship better. And I don't see how the focus on an S, which doesn't work, is going to make your relationship better. So in terms of the full disclosure, I mean, have selective amnesia. You don't have to tell. You are under no obligations whatsoever to tell. And if it's a relationship, you do not even know whether it's going to work or not. Right? And then you tell them it doesn't work, you move away, and then they add their own flesh to the story. And then they now tell everyone who cares to know. You know, because when in relationship, when there are friction and people are ahead, you don't know how to react.
Yes.
Yeah. So then, if you have a past that you are not very proud of, it's none of their business. If you are proud of it, it's still none of their business. I mean, it's for you if you want to talk, but honestly, a past relationship is a past relationship.
So you have to remember that it didn't work. That is why you moved on.
Yeah.
So why do you want to reflect on failure, something that didn't work?
Yeah. And even if you want to reflect on it, you just want to reflect on it and pick up lessons for it for yourself.
Yes.
So that you do not repeat those things in this new relationship.
You know,
but it has nothing to do with
you
that
know,
man.
from what you just said, the trick to making your marriage work is that oftentimes when there is divorce, you might go into a new relationship with a whole brand new person. You will go to a new relationship and do all the things that improve upon yourself. So all the things that you were complaining about, he moves on and he's the perfect person
he's become conscious of what he did that destroyed the other relationship.
So why wouldn't we be smart and set out to be good partners? Why wouldn't we be smart? Why wouldn't we?
So full disclosure, honestly, no, it's not necessary. It's none of their business. It didn't happen with them. And for some of us, we tell ourselves that we've never had an ex before. It was friendship that didn't materialize into anything. So what's the big deal? I mean,
you wouldn't give it credit.
Oh no. Waste of time, energy, and whatever. So it didn't work. There's a reason why it didn't work. Stays in the past, curtain closed, door shut.
Focus on the future. So full disclosure is so unnecessary. It brings arguments, comparison, insecurity, and all these things. So it's unnecessary. They didn't work.
You see a man saying, "Oh, because your ex was doing this for you, so
why are you in this dress?"
Yeah, because he said he likes it. Why did you comb your hair like
this
that?
way?
Because he said he likes
it.
Oh, please.
Then perhaps you talked about a favorite song that you used to sing together, and the song
then
you start jumping.
And they're like, what the hell is happening here?
So
please relax your brain. And I think that's why it's important that we date people leaving out the sex part. Right? I know it's kind of outmoded, but there is a reason why sex has to be kept secret. Because when you date this person, you have sex with them, they are how do you even call it? There are attachments here and there. You meet the other person, you have sex with them, there are attachments here and there, and then you now look at yourself and then you are ashamed of your past. But if there were nothing like that,
it's true.
No sexual relationship whatsoever. So I think it's also important that you date people not necessarily because you probably have to have sex with them, but just to get to know them.
To know them first.
And if it doesn't work, it's easier to kick people to the curb if there is no sex involved than when there is sex involved. And because the feelings are not strong, you tend not to even talk about them
At
again
all.
or to mention them.
Hence the fact that you've never had an ex.
Exactly. So please, those exes, close the curtain on them. Discussions, everything, keep them where they belong, in the past, and move on and be happy. So I think this goes for both men and women. The full disclosure, because for us women, if
Why
you
do
tell
you even
us,
want to know?
no, but for us women, if you tell us, then you've worsened your own case. Oh, you took your SC and you're not taking me.
Then I want the same. I want the same thing.
Oh yeah, you
or more.
Oh, you did all that. So we are basically going to be judging you
Yes.
based on
And
all that
comparing whether
you've
you
told
love
us.
us more or you
Yeah.
know.
So ours is even worse. So if you are a man and you want to do full disclosure, I mean, you're thinking your own brain. So
Exactly.
keep it to yourself.
Keep it to
You
yourself.
don't want, for us women, you do not want to tell us. Otherwise, that's going to be the benchmark.
Yes.
It's going to be the benchmark. Yeah. All right. So that is it from us today. We'll see you in the next one. I think this has been a very lively discussion.
Yes.
Tell us what you think. Should you tell?
No.
Or should you just
Zip it. Zip
selective amnesia? See you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.